Hey, do you ever feel like you're becoming some of the very things you don't want to be? About a week ago, I felt like the Lord was impressing on me that I was becoming a curmudgeon. Well, it's a term that I kind of know. What I do know of it, I don't like, but it kept coming back to me. So I looked it up in the dictionary, and I had to actually even learn how to spell it. It's C-U-R-M, not just C-U-M. And a curmudgeon is someone who's kind of crusty. They're mean-spirited and sometimes miserly. It's often based on a kind of a pride that their way is right or best. And it's something generally used of older men. Well, what of that do I like? I didn't like any of it, but I felt like this is what the Lord was impressing on me. So what did I do? I thought, well, okay, what's a woman? You know, you don't hear that term used of women. So I looked up, did a little research, and a term used for women is a term we don't even hardly use. It's called a termagant. I didn't know what that is. It's Termagant. That's kind of a scolding woman who's nagging or a bad-tempered woman. Often her kind of posture comes out of unresolved wounds that have turned into a kind of like a strong desire to control the situation. Often what they share is peppered with a kind of anger or a passive-aggressive way to communicate. Both the curmudgeon and the termagant, that's not how we want to live. As a matter of fact, though, as I, again, trying to deal with it, I had realized that this wasn't a new thing as I've gotten older, that in many ways it's been a part of my life. I thought it was part of my personality. When I had staff, I would tell them sometimes, if you come to me with a new idea or you think something I need to change, know that my first reaction sometimes isn't good and I may shoot down your idea, but I will reflect on it, I'll come back and I will change, I promise. I thought that was pretty good. From what the Lord's dealing with me now, that's not good enough. I don't want to have that curmudgeon kind of response. Instead, what I want to do is walk in a different way. I want to walk in humility and adaptability. I want to connect with those who are coming to me, not build a little tower of rightness, keeping them small and feeling insignificant, or causing them a kind of to want to like tear down the tower. That's what it does. Instead, I want to change. Well, if anything that I'm saying to you resonates, listen with me, and I invite you to kind of be changed just like I'm believing God for. First, what we want to do is agree with God's perspective. That's really a definition for confession, is to agree with God's perspective. I agree that crustiness, thinking I'm right, pridefulness, that's wrong. I don't want that. Secondly, we have to knock the crust off our lives. Well, how I'm going to knock the crust off? What it is I want to become that humble, adaptable, honoring others kind of a person, and turn from me thinking that my way is right and that the pathway that I have, this well-worn path, is worth staying on. Instead, I want to embrace a different way of living, to see life more as an adventure, to see and embrace new ideas, new reasoning, new ways, new activities, new experiences. That would make for a fuller life. That would make for a life that actually is connecting and relating to others in community. I don't want my first reaction to be curmudgeonly. I don't want to create people who are crushed with their vision because I've squashed it, or to create people termagants or people who want to tear down or control because of what I've been sowing into their life. I turn from that today. Those who live in towers create people who are either small or want to tear down towers. But those who live in vulnerability, authenticity, speaking the truth in love, build others up. They don't have to tear down anybody, nor do they have to feel small. So if any of this resonates with you, I invite you into that spirit of agreeing with God's perspective, confession, changing the way you're living. That's repentance, receiving God's power, and walking in a new way. Have a great day.